Yo guys, what's up, and welcome back to another video. I don't know what's going on in the background, but it looks freaking sick, so I decided I needed to record out here on the balcony. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about in today's video is a super destructive habit that I see permeating through our entire culture and through our entire society, really, especially here in the West. And I think it's very important to shed a light on this subject, because if you're not able to actually notice this in yourself, and I mean, maybe you're one of the few that's not struggling with this, but most likely if you're watching this video, you are struggling with this to a certain degree. I know I was, and so I wanted to touch on it. But a little bit of backstory, like, it is one thing that I was struggling with a lot when I was younger, and I think, like, getting older and reflecting back on it, and obviously also trying to educate myself a bit more on this subject, I think I realized that the reason that I was struggling with this so much was I just hated my own life. It sounds kind of hard to say, and it is really weird to admit this to the camera and obviously to you guys as well, but when I was younger, I just didn't like my own life, and it led me to a lot of actions and a lot of habits that were very destructive. And being younger and obviously thinking you know everything, realizing now that I really didn't, I thought that I could just escape it all, and the core of this issue really is that word. It's escaping and escapism, because what I would do is, instead of working on myself and trying to become better and trying to develop, I would just dive into anything and everything that I could to not have to experience my own reality, right? Instead of facing the fact that my confidence was low, or instead of facing the fact that I was not really able to provide any sort of value and go out and just be myself and actually go into a company, for example, and provide value there, or just being proud of myself, instead of facing that fact and trying to do something about it, I would just jump into any and every possible and imaginable distraction that there was. I smoked a ton of weed. I would play a lot of video games. Heck, I'll even admit it, I'd watch a lot of porn just to escape reality. And obviously smoking a little bit of weed once or twice per year, or doing some drugs or anything like that, it's fine if it's this one thing and there's a deeper reason for why you're going to be doing it. But the way I was using all of these different stimulants wasn't in a healthy way. It was to escape my own life. It was so that I wouldn't have to look myself in the mirror and think, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Where am I going with my life? And it really actually didn't change until one day. Gotta adjust the camera here a little bit. My mom actually came into my bedroom and she was pissed off because I had been out late at night one day again smoking weed, and she just looked at me and was like, you're a loser, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but there's no direction here. I don't see any changes. And I remember hating her so much in that moment, and I hated her so much for a long time for that comment. But looking back at it now, it was the most simple but also the most necessary message that I needed from a person in my life, that I needed to change. And I had tried changing for a very, very long time, but having my mom come into the room and sort of tell me that so bluntly and so straightforward, and I was obviously in my weed haze, just not really understanding what was going on. It was like she was holding up a mirror, and it was a mirror that was just it was not possible to escape from it, And it was at that moment that I started taking things more seriously. I started actually taking more action. And but the point of this video isn't really the action. It's more realizing that once you're in that hole, and once you're sort of addicted to this escapism and this short-term pleasure, trying to always get the next hit, no matter what it might be, it's very hard to get out of. Because for me, the reason I was trying to escape was because I wasn't satisfied with where my life was and what trajectory it had. But because I wasn't willing to work on it, I could see myself wanting, and I knew deep down inside I wanted to do something about it, but I couldn't get myself to do anything with it, if that makes sense. And I think like that is honestly the thing that I was trying to escape from. I wasn't necessarily trying to escape from my own life. I was trying to escape from the fact that I was powerless in my own turnaround operation. I had all these dreams, I had all these ambitions. It wasn't like I was completely clueless as to what I wanted to do. It was more as if I wanted to escape from the fact that I just wasn't able to make myself do it, and that made me feel like shit. But because I then tried to escape from that, it made it harder because I would have less self-confidence, and it becomes this negative spiral that continues and continues downhill. And the longer you're in it, the harder it is to get out of it. So the reason that I wanted to make this video, I'm actually making a longer video on my story tomorrow of like how I went from being like dead broke in my parents' like loft, I guess, living there, doing nothing, being dead broke, no money. I'm making a longer video on that tomorrow, but I thought that this subject in and of itself was something that it needed its own video, and so I wanted to touch on that. But yeah, no, I'm really grateful today for what my mom came and told me that one time when she had just had enough, and it was actually like one of the kindest gestures that I think anyone has done for me up until this point. So yeah, thank you for that, Mom. And for everyone else watching this video, I really hope you got something out of it. Maybe you, because of my story, like get to realize, maybe you notice like the habits that you have in your own life as well. But yeah, that's it for this video. Longer video coming out tomorrow. Thanks for checking this one out, and I'll see you guys another day. Ciao, guys.